Welcome, everybody. This is the Wrestling N.R.D. Broadcast. I'm Gio Galvano. Welcome to the show. Can't wait.
You're watching DaveCTV. Now here's your host, the voice, Dave Canning. It's you, it's me, it's DaveCTV. It's you, it's me, it's DaveCTV. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is N.R.D. And today on episode 29 of the Wrestling N.R.D. Broadcast, we have the one, the only, the guy who's actually from the same state as me, Mr. Gio Galvano. Gio, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
It's great to be here. I love it. Representing New York together, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Sir. We've just got a river between us, and that's all that there is.
That's it.
So, Gio, a little backstory for those of you who don't know. I've told some people this story, but so the first time I ever saw Gio, it was in about the fifth inning of a New York Boulders baseball game, and they were having a contest where the loudest fan in the stands got a free pizza. And the man who was delivering that pizza was our very own Gio Galvano in full gear for the Northeast Wrestling show that was going to happen after the game. So I've got to ask, what is it like wrestling in a bar in a baseball stadium in the middle of summer?
Well, a great experience, Dave. And I think the whole pizza thing really set me up for success that night because people love pizza. We know this.
Oh, yeah.
But when you say it's free pizza, people go bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
So when they put me up on the Jumbotron and I had to pick a fan who was cheering the loudest, it was a blast. And there was this one kid. He had a Red Sox shirt on, Dave. I know. But I had to give it to him. He was losing his mind. So I presented him the pizza. And keep in mind, guys, I'm in full gear on the Jumbotron at a baseball game. So I think that's when people really understood, oh, snap, there's going to be wrestling under that bar after the game tonight. And I think that's when the energy was taken up a notch that night. But it was a blast. That was a great night.
You definitely had one of the loudest pops of the evening because everyone was just chanting pizza, pizza. And you know what? Of everyone that was wrestling that night, you stood out the most because of that. So you went out and you know. And how did they go about, like, okay, we need one of you guys to pass out this pizza? Did you volunteer?
It was a list of tasks that the Rockland Boulder staff gave us.
Uh-huh.
And when I saw pizza on there, I hopped right on it. And I everyone else knew the Italian guy was going to go right after that. And it's funny because in a nutshell here, I'll tell you guys, my dad, when he came to this country from Sicily, he was in his 20s. He actually came here with his brothers to open up a pizzeria in New York City, right on Broadway. So it actually runs in the family, the whole pizza thing. And pizza got over that night, that's for sure. Pizza got over, and therefore Gio got over.
Absolutely. What's the name of the pizza? Is it still open in the city?
Oh no, he had it late 80s through the 90s, and then he sold it in 2000. It was a San Leone Pizza Pasta right on Broadway, right across from where David Letterman had his studio.
Okay, I know where that is. Okay, awesome. Do you have a favorite pizza place?
There's a place in the city called Garlic Pizza.
Okay.
It's Lower Manhattan, and it is it's the best.
I know. My favorite pizza spots is, little Italian joint. Not many people know about it. It's called Sbarro. Some of the best pizza you'll find in the city.
Oh man,
I can't even say that with a straight face.
No, I can't.
It's not bad. I've had worse pizza, so mainly because I've had pizza outside of New York. All pizza outside of New York, trash, absolute trash. With the exception of Fort Lee Pizza in Linwood, or Linwood Pizza in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Yeah, there's some good spots in Jersey.
Yes, but that's because they just get the aroma from New York just floating over. So,
yeah, right over the river we were talking about. That's it.
So we mentioned you had the match for Northeast Wrestling at the Boulder Stadium. Is that one of the most unique or weird spots you've ever had a wrestling match, or is there something like more random of a place you've had a match before?
Good question. I would say so far in my career, it's probably one of the more unique ones. Yeah. And it was just cool because the crowd I think part of it has to do with it's summer. We're coming off the heat of the pandemic. People are excited to be out, but the crowd was just ridiculously hot that night, and that was a cool experience. Let's put it this way, I've never given a shoulder tackle and got a reaction that loud before. Like everything meant something with that crowd, and it was a special night.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'll be honest, like I went there. So I think it was supposed to be July 3rd was the original date for that, but it got rained out. And I was away that weekend, so I couldn't go. And then I found it's rained out, and I found out I'm available on the 16th. I'm like, yes, let's go. And I was optimistic, but I was nervous. I'm like, are a lot of people like, first of all, the New York Boulders are independent baseball. They're a Major League Baseball like development system. I forget what they officially call it, but it's not even the minor leagues. So they don't draw as well already. So I was nervous on top of that. And I was then nervous that people would stay for 9 innings to see a wrestling match. But that crowd packed the bridge bar. They packed the stairs where I was. A high five on the way down and the way back up. That was just
cool. It's 10 o'clock at night, Dave. So
yeah,
I was thinking the same thing. I was curious. Are these families going to keep their kids here for after the game, or are they going to take them home? And thankfully, everyone wanted to stay.
Yeah, and judging by how most people were dressed, there were a lot of wrestling shirts. So there was definitely people that were there just specifically for the wrestling. So
yep. And for those listening right now and those who are curious about it, we are going back to Boulder Stadium August 13th with Northeast Wrestling. So we'll be doing another Bridge Bar Brawl. So if you're in the Westchester, Rockland, New Jersey, Connecticut area, you're listening to this, I mean, it's really worth a go. It's a good time.
That, if I'm not mistaken, is the night before WrestleFest in Poughkeepsie.
That's correct.
So I will. Are you going to be at WrestleFest? I mean, I know
I will be.
Yes.
I will be there in Poughkeepsie on August 14th. Gio Galvano will be on WrestleFest.
Absolutely. We're gonna get you in talks with Cody. We're gonna get you a private meeting with Cody at that event. That's my goal now. I forked over my $80.
And now this, you're doing a lot for me, man.
I forked over my $80 for that meet and greet. I'm just gonna be like, hey, that guy down there, go talk to him.
Yeah, I'll give you a percentage in the contract. Then.
Oh, beautiful. I'll be your hype man all night. I know Darby Allin chopped me the last time they were in Poughkeepsie, so that dude don't mess around. Oh yeah, so this was just before like AEW was a big thing. I think this was Prison Break for Northeast Wrestling, and so Darby Allin had a meet and greet table. There was no line for him, and so like we're like, oh, let's go meet him. So we go meet him. My sister's like, can you punch him in the face? And he goes, no, I can't. I can chop his chest though. And he just looks me dead in the eye, full makeup, lift your shirt. And I'm like, wait, what? I'll show you the video too. We'll insert the video here because everyone loves that video.
There we go. I like that.
This is the biggest
And I don't know how much he weighs, but I think I outweigh him. I'm 6'1", 220. And this man just, boom, solid contact. And it doesn't hurt at first, but then throughout the night, it felt like heat radiated off my chest, and it broke the skin. And I was terrified. Oh yeah. So like how I believe Legursky and Moff were just chopping each other in the main event of the baseball stadium bash.
I've taken some of those Legursky chops before.
Oh, every time I see it, I wince and I cover because I know that pain. And I'm like, I know everybody on that side of the barricade is a lot tougher than I am. I will never try to outshine anybody.
Oh like, man, no, it sounds like Darby Allin was excited to give you a chop too.
And you know what? When we went to another Northeast Wrestling show about a year later, I froze the frame of him hitting me because we have it on video, and I had him sign. I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but he's like, oh no, you don't forget one of these meet and greets. I'm like,
there we go, you're memorable.
Yeah. So, oof. But, so fast forward to the following night after the Boulder Stadium, we go to Heat Wave where you took on Brett Ryan Gosselin in a phenomenal tearing the house down match. And of course, got to do the meet and greet beforehand. And I was like, I got to stop and meet you, which is how we set all this up, ladies and gentlemen. So go to your local meet and greets, support your indie wrestling promotions. And so you have arguably one of the smartest thing I've ever seen at a meet and greet table, and that you have a QR code right there with your Venmo info and your social medias. how did you come up with that idea? Because I've never seen that before.
That is the genius of my brother. I have 5 brothers.
Okay.
And one of them, Vincenzo, he's crafty with stuff like that. And he's helped me with my social media and stuff like that too. So he's like, dude, I can get you the QR code, and boom, it's right there on the table for people. So that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's coming handy.
Super smart.
Sure.
Yeah, especially with because a lot of meet and greets, it's cash only, obviously, but then you got your Venmo hooked up right there. So, which I thought was brilliant. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you had shirts for sale that went to Make-A-Wish. Is that correct?
Correct, Dave. I've been doing this. I've been running this for a couple months now, this fundraiser, where all of my Gio shirts, I actually got a couple right here, so I can show the listeners and viewers.
Nice.
So it's nice. It's polyester, dry fit. You can work out in it. It'll keep you cool. It'll keep you warm if you got to stay warm as well. And it's $25, and everything, all the proceeds go to Make-A-Wish.
Nice.
That is awesome.
And Make-A-Wish, it's a foundation that I actually have personal ties to. I just mentioned my brothers. My youngest brother, when he was 11, he was diagnosed with leukemia, and he's all good now, 100%. But he got granted a Make-A-Wish after all that he went through, and his Make-A-Wish was to go to Rome, Italy, to see his favorite soccer team play and to meet his favorite player, Francesco Totti, which Make-A-Wish paid for not only him and my parents, but me and my other brother, Vincenzo, all of us. They paid for 5 days in Rome. We got to see them play Juventus, which is the biggest team in Italy. And it was packed 80,000 people at the Stadio Olimpico. I still got goosebumps just talking about it. Just the singing and the chanting and the flags and the fan culture there is unbelievable. And so anyway, the point is, Make-A-Wish, they pay for all that. Everything from the plane to the lodging to the food. They pick their people up in limousines, and they drop them off in limousines as well. So it's every penny matters, and that's why I'm doing this. And it's been great so far. It's been a great fundraiser. I'm almost at $2,000 since I started.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, we'll link that information in the comment section below, so you can go get your very own Gio shirt and help out a very great cause.
Instagram or Twitter, I'll hook you up.
Absolutely. Did the team win that your brother wanted to see?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Okay.
They won the game 3-1.
I was gonna say nothing just sours a vacation like going all the way halfway across the country. I went to Fenway Park last month and saw the Yankees get blown out. So nothing sours a trip like going all the way. I can only imagine what it's like if you had to get on a plane and go see your team get killed. So. But so yes, we did mention soccer. Just briefly go on a little detour. So you're obviously a big soccer fan. Italian national team. Do you follow any other clubs?
I'm an AC Milan fan.
Okay.
And for the Premier League followers out there, because I know there's a lot of Premier League followers, I love Aston Villa. Their main man, Jack Grealish, he's my boy. So those are my teams, Milan and Aston Villa.
If you had to choose, are you team Messi or team Ronaldo? This could determine if I hang up on you right now too.
Wow, big stuff right here, Dave.
Just saying.
If I had to choose, I'm gonna go Messi.
Okay.
If I had to choose.
All right, we can continue with the show. I was at a bar in New York City when USA played Portugal in the World Cup a few years ago, and it was just rocking. We were up 1-0, I think, and then he hits that cross, and they tie it up. And I've never been so mad during a soccer.
Last play of the game, dude. You
could hear a pin drop in this bar. Oh, I still joke that I'd be still partying there if the USA had won because they would have advanced.
I know that would have been a big 3 points that game.
But it's not like we have the Olympics to look forward to for U.S. men's soccer. But at least we've got the women who just hopefully get their act together after that Sweden loss. So
I think they will.
But yeah, so back on the wrestling road. So yes, we set that up. You have an awesome match with Ryan Gosling, yes, you wrestled Hollywood actor Ryan Gosling.
Probably not the first time he's got
So just what is it, obviously, Northeast Wrestling, a lower tier on the independent circuit, but obviously gets a lot of big names. Like I mentioned in Poughkeepsie, they're going to have half of AEW's roster. They're going to have Cody, Paul White, Darby Allin. You're going to be there. I'm going to be there. It's a star-studded show, everyone. But so, yeah, just what has it been like getting back in front of fans, over this past year?
It's been amazing. And to touch on the pandemic era for a moment, I will say that although I'm green and I'm learning a lot, I noticed that in the pandemic era, it was a challenging time for us wrestlers to come up with something, for example, on the studio tapings and all that stuff. It was tough for us to tell our story without that crowd. You know what I'm saying? Without having that extra height of drama and even stuff like just gauging where you are in a match, gauging where to go, because when you have a crowd, you can feel things out, and without the crowd there, it challenged us as performers in a lot of different ways. I think it made us better, and so when the crowds did come back, one, we're not taking them for granted anymore. We know how important they are to the show. And it's just an extra boost. And everyone's been loving it. I mean, all the guys I've been spoken to and the ladies too. It's just, wrestling's nothing without the fans.
Yes. And I can't remember if at the Bridge Bar Brawl, if you came out first or Antonio came out. I think Antonio came.
Antonio did, yeah.
Okay. So you got to be the first babyface that I came out and saw in like a year and a half. So I literally just lost my mind when you popped up. So
I was I was so happy when I was going on first that day. When I found out, Dave, I knew. I was like, that's gold. Going on first in the situation, gold.
Yep, definitely. Because that was my first show back and since Over the Top for Northeast Wrestling in 2020 in January. So I was like,
wow,
I'm itching. So
yeah.
And so obviously we mentioned that, all the struggles during the pandemic, and I know that you did some work for Impact, right? In November.
I did have that opportunity. Okay. Yeah.
What is that situation like? 'Cause I know they do a lot of tapes in advance, like a month of tapings or something. So what is a day with Impact like?
Oh, it's a long day. That's for sure. They come in, they usually do, this is just from my experience working with them. It was, I think, 3 days worth of tapings. And in those 3 days, they're getting a month's worth of the Impact shows. They're getting a month's worth of Explosion at the time when they were still doing that. And they're getting I think they got 2 pay-per-views in. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. But definitely a great experience to see that, to be backstage for that, to see how hard the guys and girls work over there. But at the same time, to get a good feel of honestly, a family vibe. When I was there that weekend, it was the Rascals' last hurrah with Impact, and just the farewell they got. I mean, people were crying, and it's like, wow, this is a family over here. This is more than just a wrestling company.
Definitely.
So I got a question, if I may. You talked about filming multiple matches. Filming a month's worth in 3 days. How is it? I've only backyarded, but I know when you got the adrenaline going, you don't feel things, you feel it afterwards. How is it wrestling multiple times in a day? Is that any difficulties?
Good question. I've enjoyed my experiences wrestling multiple times in a day. I think because one of the things ever since I started wrestling, Ryan, was that when I finish a match and I get back through the curtain, I just want to go back out there. And so when I actually have the opportunity to go back out there later, I'm already warmed up. My feet are wet. I'm ready to go. So it's been a good experience working more than once in a day. I've had that experience a couple of times in my career. I like it.
Nice.
So I don't know how much you pay attention to other companies and whatnot, but obviously the big story of the weekend was there was a death match between Nick Gage and Matt Cardona. I don't know how much you followed that.
I haven't followed it, no.
Okay. But just as a performer, would you have any sort of desire to participate in a death match? Because I watched my first one this weekend. I'm like, whoa. I cried a paper cut. So
It takes a certain breed to do those kind of matches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it
is
really
is
does.
there any specific style of match that you would want, like a stipulation match that you want to have that you haven't been able to do yet?
I mean, I haven't really been in any stipulation matches left yet, so I'm just whatever comes my way, I'm ready. I think I mean the price has definitely got to be right because when you're putting your body on the line, certain things it's no joke.
Yeah.
But I think a ladder match soon in Gio Galvano's career would be pretty tasty.
Perhaps in Poughkeepsie. I'll hold the ladder for you.
Perhaps I can't. I have no idea what I'm doing on the show yet, so
They can
can't
do a
say
ladder
anything.
match there, so
But I know that there is a tradition to have a ladder match there.
I'm here for that. So that card's already stacked. We put you on there, top notch show of the year. So
Oh, Dave, thank you very much.
I was thinking, you said you haven't been in many stipulation matches. I know you've been in at least one championship match. You're the Next Gen champion currently, correct?
Yeah. Yep. I'm the Global Syndicate Wrestling Next Gen champ. That's correct, Ryan. I've held the title since February, and I'm the first ever GSW Next Gen champ.
Yeah.
And I've had 5 successful title defenses so far. It's been a good run. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been challenging. And I will be defending the title on August 20th against Austin Aries at Global Syndicate Wrestling Global Festival. This is in Asbury Park, New Jersey. So awesome. it's a bit, and this is a week after WrestleFest, guys. So it's a big week in my young career, and I'm very excited.
Would you say Aries will be the biggest name that you faced yet, or have you fought somebody of a bigger stature yet?
So far this is the highest profile match. Yeah.
I'm excited. We will definitely be rooting for you there. So
thank you, guys.
Absolutely. You listen, as this show's first ever King of the Nerds, let me just say, you never forget the first champion in a promotion. I'm just saying, everyone. And I will win that crown back on September 5th at All Out. I won't be I won't be able to watch All Out live. Just like how I lost the crown unjustly when I was at a wrestling show. I will be DJing a wedding during All Out, but I will still find a way.
It's not looking good for you, Dave.
A great wedding DJ. So if anybody needs a DJ, there's only one choice. DaveCTheVoice.
If anybody needs a king, there's only one choice, and that's.
If anybody needs their pool cleaned, we'll come call you, Nick. Okay.
Okay. All right.
DJ. That's my DJ.
Okay. I don't think Dennis knows how to spin on the 1s and 2s. Okay. I am a professionally trained. You can check out my Facebook page. We've got all those videos up there. Okay.
Very true.
Watch so. So Gio, what is the future hold for you right now? Obviously, you've got the match against Austin Aries coming up. We've got the Bridge Bar Brawl and the and WrestleFest. But what are your goals and what are your plans right now?
Yeah, so the day after WrestleFest, Northeast will be going to Six Flags. We'll be doing a show there. And then that following weekend, that Austin Aries weekend, that's a whole big festival. I mean, that's for those that are around in our area. It's GSW Global Festival. It's in Asbury Park at the House of Independence, and they're doing 2 tapings a day, 2 on the 20th, 2 on the 21st, and it's gonna be a ball. It really is. So it's the biggest week in my career so far. So that's really where my mind's at. That's where my focus is at, in the ring, and then outside of the ring, Dave. I've been loving, like I said, just getting my name out there, getting fundraising up for the Make-A-Wish with the shirts. I do have a goal of $5,000 by the end of the year, so I'm approaching 2,000, like I said, so I'm getting there. And then we'll take it as it comes. I mean, really, like I said, my focus is on these next few weeks, the biggest weeks of my career so far.
Awesome. We are very excited to see what the future holds for you, and we're gonna be rooting for you against Austin Aries, whoever you face at WrestleFest. I'm trying to think if there's anybody there that I would root for over you. Cody's a tough draw. Eddie Kingston's a tough draw. Eddie is from my side of the river here in New York. We're from Westchester, so don't face Eddie Kingston. That's all I ask.
I'll try to stay away. I don't want to mess with him either, so I'll try to stay away.
But so with that being said, we will move along to our top 3 Tuesday. And as always, we let our esteemed guests select our top 3 Tuesday. So this week, Gio has chosen famous athletes that we want made into micro brawlers or even PSAs. Shout out to friend of the show, Jake Manning, the Man Scout, for sending me his pint size all-star. If you're in search of that, you can just message him, Man Scout Manning, on Twitter. But yeah, so Gio, we're going to give you the option. Do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
I'll go last.
Okay. All right, Nick. So you will get the honor of going first and probably stealing 2 of my answers.
I'm going to. Well, I'm going to go right away and steal one of Dave's answers, and I'm going to say Mr. Six Rings, Tom Brady.
No, I actually wasn't going to go with Brady.
I thought for sure you were going to have Brady.
No, I wasn't. I didn't. And he's got 7, by the way.
Oh, 7. You're right. I forgot about the Bucks one.
God damn, 7.
Wow. Well, I mean, if you're going most famous athletes, you got to go Michael Jordan. I mean, that's like
money. It's good.
That's an obvious one.
Someone had to say that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm gonna go thinking about brawlers and like somebody would be maybe I know he's probably not the best guy anymore, but Conor McGregor from UFC.
Okay.
I think he'd be a cool brawler.
All right. I like that, especially with the tats across the chest. Ryan, how about you? What is your top 3?
All right. Well, let's see. First,
do you watch sports?
Hey, I used to play a little.
Just checking.
Okay. No, for a Patreon exclusive, subscribe to the Patreon because I got some sports related questions afterwards for Gio. Spoiler: it's on the power of the banana. So
oh, geez.
I'll leave that there.
Oh my.
The power of the banana in soccer, so you don't think it's anything weird. Okay, so first thought I had Dennis Rodman, the Worm, probably my favorite player. Yes.
That's like going to be an NWO version.
Definitely.
No, I wanted Bull's version with all the different hairs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I always loved his style of playing because basketball's a finesse sport, they say, but he played it rough and dirty, and I used to enjoy that and try and play similar as well. I'm going to go Mike Tyson.
Nice.
Okay.
Maybe even, I mean, if it's going to be a micro brawler, if it's wrestling oriented, maybe Mike Tyson trying to rip the t-shirt off, kind of struggling a little on AEW.
No, you need Tyson punch out where he's like standing like this.
Oh, yeah.
Do you give him the tattoo on his eye?
I mean, if it's punch out Tyson, he doesn't have it, but you could do like a variant where he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about
Chase Tyson with the tattoo.
Yeah. These micro brawlers, they make tons of different types, Gio, like different color variants.
We're up to 8 macho men. Jesus.
So many. And then big name, I'm gonna go one of my top 2 favorite MMA fighters, Randy Couture. He, again, just a guy, not the best record, but tons of heart. Every fight match was entertaining to me, so I'm gonna go Randy Couture.
All right. So for my top 3, I'm gonna do a soccer one in honor of Gio. I'm gonna go with Megan Rapinoe, just because you could change up her hair on so many different ones if you wanted. Number 2 is gonna be Babe Ruth, because it's just legend. And then number 3, who the heck could I go with for number 3? We'll let Gio decide if it counts. It's a movie character, but Rick Wild Thing Vaughn from Major League. Do we count that?
I don't know why. When you said Rick, I just thought you were going to say Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
We could go Ricky Bobby as a 3A. Shake and bake with the Wonder Bread car.
Because I was thinking we should have some racing, some racers in the mix.
Okay, so screw it. So Rick Vaughn's out. Ricky Bobby is in. I'm on fire. Help me, Tom Cruise.
I want to go fast.
I'm gonna opt out on Skittles and Mountain Dew, old man. So Gio, it is your turn. What is your top 3?
All right, so we talked about him earlier. I think Lionel Messi. I think that he's got to make the cut. He's known worldwide. Everyone knows him, loves him. Great role model. And speaking of role models, Muhammad Ali's got to be in there.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That it's timeless, right? That would make a timeless micro brawler. And then I'm not a golf guy, but with golf you can get creative with the accessories and all that. think Tiger Woods. Throw him in the mix.
I like it.
That's good.
That's a solid top 3. I like that. So, yes, let us know your top 3 Tuesday in the comments section below. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends. Gio, the floor is yours to plug away whatever you want, social media, your Venmo account, whatever you want. The floor is yours, my friend.
So for those on social media, on Instagram, you can follow me at Gio_Galvano. That's Galvano. And if you're on Twitter, follow me at Gio_official. Spell the official with a 0, and you'll know everything you need to know in the world of Gio Galvano.
Absolutely. I will be in those private messages again because I need some Gio merch. So help out the Make-A-Wish at the same time.
All go to a good cause.
Beautiful. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you follow Gio on all the platforms of social media. And while you're there, you can check out the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast on all the platforms of social media. You can check us out on Facebook and Twitter at WNRDB. Make sure you check out our Patreon. We've got great tier rewards where you can be in our group chat. You can join us for our monthly Zoom meeting. You're going to get a chance to win an 8x10 from a guest on the show. I forget. There's another reward tier on Ryan's vault, but I'm totally blanking on it. But you get your name in the credits too. There's that. So much more. You can check out our merchandise. You get a sweet t-shirt like this or a hat like this. The crown belongs just to me. You can go to prowrestlingtees.com/the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. And don't forget, that's nerd spelled N-R-D. So on behalf of myself, and don't forget, like this video, share it with your friends, and smash that subscribe button because clicking it doesn't do enough. So on behalf of myself, the voice and future king, DaveCTheVoice, the founding father and alleged king, Nick Carpenter, and the man who's never worn the crown, the micro brawler scholar, Ryan Crossley. And of course, everyone's favorite new wrestler, Mr. Gio Galvano. Don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone, and God bless America.